Hello and welcome to Tall Guy Films. Today we're talking about the visual effects in one of my recent short films, Statistics. Alright, so here we are inside of After Effects. So for Statistics, there was only one real VFX shot, which was just a simple green screen key. Now, obviously, just a simple green screen key isn't really that simple, and if you have any experience with filmmaking, probably right away you're noticing an issue that'll be apparent once I start working on this. But if not, well, I guess we'll get started. So right here I have the plate. So basically what I want to do is I want to take this and put this vehicle on top of this back plate to make it look like it's driving. So to do that, to start out with, all I did was I did a, whoopsie, wrong way. I did a mask right here to remove the top of the vehicle, and then I did a second mask, which is a subtractive mask, to take out the window. Now the reason I did this is that all of this I don't need to key. I know all of this is going to be just fine in terms of the actual keying out. So then from there what I did is I added another layer. I duplicated this layer, the shot layer, and then I added another mask. I used the same mask that I used right here. So I basically added the window back in again, except I did the wrong thing. It's supposed to be subtractive. Maybe. Difference? Oh no, maybe it is subtractive. Yeah, it's subtractive. Sorry. I'm confusing myself. Alright, so it's a subtractive matte. So what that means is that I'm going to be adding in this green screen part right here, but when I key, I'm going to key on this layer, and I'm only going to be applying the key to the windowed part of the image, which means that I won't be affecting any of the other parts of the image. So for the key, now the issue with the key is that there is two different levels of luminance basically on the key. We have this darker green and we have this lighter green. When you do a green screen, you want the screen to be lit super evenly. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a really bad key. So the reason why I couldn't get the lighting more even was because we were doing this outside and it was super windy on this day. And so in order to get even lighting, we would have had to move the green screen further back. But to do that, we wouldn't have been able to secure it in place because it would have just blown away. Right now in this shot, the screen is literally tied to the vehicle because otherwise it would have blown away. So there really wasn't any other option for applying it. And I knew that I was going to be doing some pretty heavy color grading and compositing on this. So that would help basically mask a poor, well, what's it called? A poor key. Porky. Not Porky the Pig, Porky as in a bad chroma key. Alright, so I applied a key light, and this key light is applied to that darker green kind of around here. And the second key light is applied to that orange right here, that to kind of help clean that up. Now there's still a lot of noise, as you can see, but again, the visual or the color grading and compositing I did was heavy enough that it basically masked that noise. So now the second thing that I did, you might be noticing that when I shot the vehicle, I shot it at an angle, but the background is shot completely flat. So if we play this, you can see it looks super fake because the perspective of the vehicle and the background aren't lined up properly. So what I did here is I actually applied a corner pin to both of my plates of the vehicle. And the corner pin allows you to skew and distort the perspective of an image along a 2D plane. So this actually worked out really well because I was able to basically rotate the vehicle so it's lined up properly, but at the same time I'm maintaining the framing that allows you to see both Julia and me which that is me and that is Julia, in case you didn't know. So with this, it looks a little funky, but the actual shot that I used in the film is like 2 seconds long maybe. So really any kind of issues that might show up with how the perspective is weird and how there's lots of noise in this window right here, none of those issues will really be apparent just because it will be shown for such a short period of time. Alright, so now I'm going to go in, and what I want to do is I want to show you basically what the final shot looked like. So you can kind of see how with that color grading applied, how it looked and how much better it looked, obviously, since it was a pretty bad key to begin with, but it looked a lot better with the color grading applied. So I believe the section I'm looking for is pretty close. Alright, so there it was. The shot is right here. So as you can see, when I applied the color grade, which part of it was kind of this whooshed out effect, and you can watch the behind the scenes of statistics where I explain the color grading, but once I applied that heavily stylized look, you basically lost all of the noise and stuff and the artifacts from the poor key that was in the original shot. So that is pretty much it. And, you know, it's kind of cheating, to be honest, to cover up a poor key with something like this. It's much better just to get a good key in the first place. A lot of people will use stuff like lens flares and stuff like that to hide bad keying or bad rotoscoping. But it is worth noting that it is possible to hide bad visual effects to some extent through other means like this. And so that's what I ended up doing, and I think it turned out really well. And I don't think it was kind of cheating, but in the end it turned out well. So I'm certainly happy with it, and I'm not disappointed in any way that I chose to do it this way. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If not, feel free to hit the dislike button. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe.